What Harry and Meghan thought was going to be an excellent idea has backfired in the biggest way and ended up being a huge mess. I mean, go figure. Pretty much everything Harry and Meghan try to do turns into a big fat mess.
So, there's footage that allegedly exists of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry at one of Kris Jenner's parties that never made it to air. And people have been trying to figure out what happened for years now. We're talking about a party that had cameras everywhere, a family that films literally everything, and somehow the Duke and Duchess of Sussex just vanished from the final cut. That's weird, right? Let me take you back to 2020, when Meghan and Harry had just moved to California. They were settling into their Montecito mansion, trying to figure out what their post-royal life was going to look like. And apparently part of that involved getting cozy with Hollywood's elite. According to multiple sources who were at Kris Jenner's Oscar party that year, Harry and Meghan showed up looking like they were ready to network. This wasn't some low-key gathering either. We're talking about the party where everyone who's anyone shows up to be seen. Now, the Kardashian-Jenner parties are famously well documented. There are photographers, there are cameras for the show, there are Instagram stories from every possible angle.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been deleted. From pictures of Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party from Kris Jenner herself, the birthday girl, and Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian deleted her photo with Meghan Markle?
But when it came to Harry and Meghan's appearance, things got really quiet, really fast. A source told Page 6 that the couple spent about an hour at the party, chatted with several people, including Kim and Khloe, and then left through a side entrance. That detail about the side entrance is important because it suggests they didn't want to be photographed leaving together. Here's where it gets interesting. The party happened in February 2020, right around the time Harry and Meghan were finalizing their exit from royal duties. They were still technically working royals at that point, even though they'd announced their intention to step back. Royal expert Katie Nicholl mentioned in an interview with Entertainment Tonight that the palace was reportedly not thrilled about them attending Hollywood parties during what was supposed to be a transition period. The optics were apparently a nightmare for the royal family's communications team. But why would Kris Jenner, who literally built an empire on filming every moment of her family's life, not include footage of actual royalty at her party?
Kim Kardashian has had enough. This complete debacle of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's making has made them even more toxic in Hollywood than they were before, and that is saying something.
Some people think it was a mutual agreement. Meghan and Harry were trying to maintain some level of privacy and control over their image, and maybe they specifically requested not to be filmed. That would make sense given how careful they've been about controlling their narrative since leaving the UK. There's another theory though, and this one's a bit messier. According to an anonymous source who spoke to Heat magazine, there was allegedly tension at the party that nobody wanted to address publicly. The source claimed that some guests were uncomfortable with how much the paparazzi presence had increased because of Harry and Meghan's attendance. Remember, this was still early days for them in California, and the media circus following them was intense. One unnamed celebrity allegedly complained to Kris about the security situation, saying it was supposed to be a private event, and suddenly there were helicopters circling overhead. Let's talk about what we actually know happened at the party. Multiple witnesses confirmed seeing Meghan talking with Khloe Kardashian near the bar area for at least 20 minutes. They were reportedly discussing motherhood, since Meghan had Archie less than a year earlier.
She's as absurd as ever. Meghan Markle. Yeah. She showed up at the Kris Jenner 70th birthday bash with Harry and got her picture taken. And I'm just going to be honest, she didn't look good in either shot.
And Khloe had True around the same time. That conversation apparently seemed really genuine and friendly, not awkward or forced. Someone who overheard parts of it told Us Weekly that Meghan was asking Khloe for advice about dealing with public scrutiny as a mom. Harry, meanwhile, was reportedly chatting with some of the male guests, including Corey Gamble, Kris's boyfriend. According to an insider, they were talking about cars and life in LA, just normal guy stuff. Harry seemed more relaxed than he'd appeared in public in months, which makes sense because he wasn't surrounded by British tabloid reporters for once. He was just a guy at a party in his new neighborhood. But here's what's really strange. When Keeping Up with the Kardashians aired the episode covering that time period, they showed footage from the party, but it was edited in a way that made it seem like a much smaller, quieter gathering than it actually was. Multiple people who attended posted about it on social media, confused about why the show made it look so different from what they remembered. One guest even tweeted something like, "Was I at a different party? Because what they showed on TV was not what I experienced."
Prince Harry's ultimate shame as he puts the Kardashians before the veterans who he claims to care most about.
Now, Meghan always thought that she was a media master manipulator, all right? So listen, when she was in Toronto,
the production company behind KUWTK, Boonham/Murray Productions, never officially commented on whether Harry and Meghan were filmed or why they might not have appeared in the episode. That silence is pretty telling because reality TV production companies usually love to promote celebrity appearances. It drives ratings. So the fact that they didn't even acknowledge the rumor suggests there might have been legal or contractual reasons they couldn't discuss it. Around the same time, there were reports that Meghan and Kris had been in talks about various business opportunities. Some outlets reported that Meghan was interested in how Kris had built her family's brand and managed their public image. That makes sense when you think about it. Kris Jenner essentially wrote the playbook on turning family drama and public attention into a business empire. Meghan was trying to figure out how to monetize her fame while maintaining some dignity and privacy, which is basically the exact challenge the Kardashians have navigated for over a decade. An article in The Times mentioned that Meghan had been reaching out to several powerful women in entertainment and business during early 2020.
Some seriously bad blood is now brewing between the Kardashians and Meghan Markle and Prince Harry as this photo deletion drama takes a fever pitch.
Kris Jenner was reportedly one of them, along with Oprah Winfrey and several others. The strategy seemed to be about building a network in their new home base, but these connections also made the British press absolutely lose their minds. The Daily Mail ran multiple stories suggesting Meghan was trying to become a Kardashian, which was obviously a dig meant to delegitimize her. There's also this rumor that's been floating around that I need to address because people keep bringing it up. Some tabloids claimed that Kim Kardashian was upset about Meghan getting more attention at the party than she did. This sounds like complete fabrication, designed to create drama where there wasn't any. Multiple sources close to the Kardashian family have said this never happened, and that Kim was actually excited to meet Meghan. One source told News that Kim and Meghan exchanged phone numbers and had talked about getting together for coffee, but scheduling never worked out. The palace's reaction to all of this was reportedly frosty. Royal correspondent Omid Scobie wrote in his book Finding Freedom that senior royals were concerned about Harry and Meghan attending parties with reality TV stars during a period when they were supposed to be transitioning away from public duties.
The image that went round the world, okay? Harry leading Meghan.
Yes, whoever got this.
This is, forget war-torn Ukraine. This is the photo of the year. And why, I think, is because
we got to zoom in on Harry's eyes.
That is a manipulation of the truth, because if there are no consent forms for any guests, then that's just Harry and Meghan saying, well, we didn't explicitly give permission, we didn't sign anything that said we were allowed to be photoed.
The concern wasn't really about the Kardashians specifically, but more about the optics of them appearing to embrace celebrity culture while simultaneously claiming they wanted privacy and a normal life. Fast forward to 2021, and there were more reports about deleted footage. This time, the claims were more specific. A crew member who worked on KUWTK allegedly told a British tabloid that they had filmed about 15 minutes of footage that included Harry and Meghan, but it was all removed during post-production. The crew member said they'd never seen anything like it before, where such significant footage was just completely scrapped. Usually when they film celebrities at parties, that becomes a selling point for the episode. The legal implications here are actually pretty complex. If Harry and Meghan were filmed without explicit consent to be included in the show, they would have solid grounds to prevent that footage from airing. California has pretty strict privacy laws, and even at a party, there are limits to what can be filmed and broadcast without permission. Reality TV shows typically have all guests sign releases before filming, but sometimes people slip through the cracks or refuse to sign after the fact. Some entertainment lawyers have speculated that what probably happened was Harry and Meghan either didn't sign a release at all, or they signed one with very specific restrictions about how the footage could be used. Then, when they saw the rough cut or heard about what was going to air, they or their lawyers stepped in. This would explain why the footage exists but never saw the light of day. There's been this ongoing debate about whether Meghan and Harry even want to be part of Hollywood circles, or if they're trying to stay separate from that scene. The truth seems to be somewhere in the middle. They live in an area where entertainment industry people are their neighbors. They've signed deals with Netflix and Spotify. They clearly want to work in media and entertainment, but they also seem to want control over how they're portrayed, which is fundamentally different from how traditional celebrities operate. The Kardashians have built their brand on letting cameras capture everything, even unflattering moments, and then editing it into a narrative that works for them. Harry and Meghan's approach is more curated and controlled from the start. They want to choose what gets shared and what stays private. Those are two very different philosophies about fame and privacy, and they don't really mix well. What's really fascinating is how this one allegedly deleted piece of footage has become this mythical thing in certain corners of the internet. There are entire Reddit threads dedicated to trying to figure out what was said, what was filmed, and why it was cut. People have analyzed the lighting and backgrounds and other footage from that party to try to identify spots where Harry and Meghan might have been standing just out of frame. It's become this whole investigation by people who are way too invested in this stuff. The reality is probably much more boring than the conspiracies suggest. Harry and Meghan went to a party, maybe got filmed a bit, either asked not to be included or didn't sign the right paperwork, and the footage got shelved. That's it. But the fact that it happened during such a pivotal moment in their lives, right as they were transitioning from royals to California residents, makes it symbolically interesting, even if the actual events were mundane. Kris Jenner has never publicly commented on any of this, which is notable because she usually doesn't shy away from addressing rumors about her family. Her silence suggests there might be confidentiality agreements in place, or she just doesn't want to get involved in anything related to the royal family drama. Smart move, honestly, because that's a no-win situation for her. One thing that did happen after this party was that Harry and Meghan seemed to pull back from the Hollywood party circuit pretty quickly. They made a few appearances here and there, but nothing as high profile as a Kardashian Oscar party. Maybe they realized that trying to have a private life while attending events that are designed to be filmed and publicized doesn't really work. Or maybe the palace pressure got to them, and they decided to cool it on the celebrity socializing for a while. The timing of all this is also worth considering. This party happened right before COVID shut everything down. Within a few weeks of this event, the world changed completely, and everyone was locked down at home. So whatever social strategy Harry and Meghan were planning got completely upended by the pandemic. By the time things opened up again, they'd already done the Oprah interview. The dynamics had shifted dramatically, and I think their approach to Hollywood relationships probably changed too. There's something kind of sad about this whole situation when you think about it. Here's a couple trying to figure out their new life, attending a party where they probably hope to make some connections and maybe just have a good time, and it turns into this whole thing with rumors and deleted footage and speculation. They couldn't just go to a party like normal people because nothing about their lives is normal. The deleted footage, if it exists, represents this moment of possibility that never quite materialized. Maybe Harry and Meghan could have become part of the Hollywood social scene in a different timeline. Maybe they would have developed friendships with the Kardashians and other celebrities and built a different kind of public image. Instead, they've ended up in this weird space where they're not quite royals anymore, but not quite regular celebrities either. Looking at where things stand now in 2024, Harry and Meghan seem to have settled into a more controlled approach to their public presence. They do their Netflix projects, they make carefully planned public appearances, and they seem to avoid situations where they can't control the narrative. That's probably a lesson learned from experiences like this party, where they showed up and immediately lost control of the story. The Kardashians, meanwhile, have moved on to their new show on Hulu and continue doing what they do best, which is documenting everything and turning their lives into content. The paths of these two families, the Sussexes and the Kardashians, were never really going to align in a sustainable way. They represent different approaches to fame, different values, and different goals. So, will we ever see this deleted footage? Probably not. It's likely sitting on a hard drive somewhere in a production company's archive, never to be released because of legal agreements or privacy concerns, or just because nobody wants to deal with the headache. Sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones that never get told, the footage that never airs, the moments that happened just off camera. What do you think actually happened at that party? Do you believe there's really deleted footage out there? Or is this just another overblown rumor about Meghan and Harry? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're into royal family drama and celebrity gossip, hit that subscribe button because we're diving into more of these stories every week.